right now on 5 on Your Side at 10.
Tonight, even if you don't own a Hyundai or Kia, the explosion of thefts could impact you. The I-Team reveals the potential for car insurance hikes.
Slightly above average temperatures, humidity on the rise, plus I'll time out any storm chances on our holiday weekend.
But first tonight, the words of this school board member.
I'm transphobic, homophobic. I used the word libtard. They said I was an ableist.
Leaves her job hanging in the balance tonight.
I don't understand how someone can say those things, especially someone who has a job to help children.
Tonight, tempers flare at a Rockwood school board meeting, parents demanding action after a controversial video shows board member Jessica Clark seemingly mocking LGBTQ students and those with special needs. Good evening, I'm Mike Bush.
And I'm Ann Allred. New tonight, 5 on Your Side's Brent Solomon is live at Marquette High School where those tensions were high. Brent, what's going to happen from here, and did they decide everything?
Yeah, sorry to cut you off. Take a look right here. The meeting just adjourned a few seconds ago. You see some folks walking out of that meeting. I can tell you that there are parents that are calling on Jessica Clark's resignation. But tonight, Clark says she will not resign. She says she will stay on this board to represent what she calls all students and all parents, including those whose opinions may be different from popular opinions. Take a look at your screen right now. I want you to see how much of a packed house it was inside of the high school this evening. Students and parents holding rainbow flags in support of those in the LGBTQIA+ community. Parents with special needs also brought their children out to show that everyone is a part of the Rockwood community. Tonight, several board members condemned Jessica Clark's remarks made during a town hall meeting, and we were there as those sounded off tonight, including those who actually stood by Clark for speaking her mind. Let's hear both sides.
Any teacher, administrator, or school employee using this kind of derogatory language would be disciplined immediately. Yet she has a seat on the board where she can allow her hatefulness and bigotry to shape policies that will negatively impact those children she so clearly despises. Enough is enough.
I urge all board members to truly consider the ramifications of your actions to silence and intimidate those with different perspectives. There is nothing unethical about a strong Black conservative woman voicing her distaste for parents who use their children for the purpose of political grandstanding.
Tonight, the board voted to remove Clark from 2 of her duties, serving on the district's wellness committee and serving as a representative on the state level for the local board. The board also voted to consider updating its code of ethics, which limits remarks board members can make when it comes to students. Tonight, the district's new superintendent, Dr. Curtis Kane, reinforced that the school district welcomes and values all students of all backgrounds, abilities, and sexual orientations. That comment was met with a standing ovation tonight. I'm reporting live. Brent Solomon, 5 on Your Side.
New details tonight in an accident involving this Ladue school bus. In just the last hour, we've learned 5 people, including a student and a bus driver, were hurt in the crash. It happened just before 4 o'clock at the intersection of Olive and Dealman in Olivet. The bus hit another car, then crashed into a traffic light. Both the driver and student had minor injuries. 3 people in the other car were taken to the hospital as well.
New tonight, vandals recently broke into, of all places, a North St. Louis church. Today, the pastor of the non-denomination church showed our Robert Townsend the extensive damage. Robert?
Mike, the unbelievable damage at the small church has taken an emotional and financial toll on the pastor and his members.
They put this table over up.
Pastor Jack Hill held back tears when he showed us all this damage.
I was in disbelief.
Vandals did to a sanctuary sometime last week. Pastor Hill discovered it on Saturday morning.
Makes me more sad than mad because I'm sad for them.
The Church of Non-Denomination is located at the corner of Goodfellow and Maple Avenue in North St. Louis. Pastor Hill told police the culprits broke through his church's front door, ripped out the alarm system, and vandalized sentimental treasures dear to him, his family, and his 50 members.
There's my dad's picture. I don't know the purpose for destroying that.
The vandals also knocked over huge, heavy statues, destroyed the church's baby grand piano, their organ, and stole amplifiers, sound mixers, and other musical equipment. The heartless criminals even pushed over the pastor's wooden stand where he preaches and tossed Bibles across the floors.
It's always in the back of my mind, who would do this? And I want to know who it is.
Their beautiful building originally opened as a Catholic church in 1906. Prior to the break-in, Pastor Hill was getting estimates to replace their tattered roof. And now this.
You know, everything we had to replace is in the thousands of dollars.
I just don't understand what type of anger would go through a person's heart that they want to come in and destroy a church.
I forgive them, I pray for them, we will rebuild.
And right now, the church is only having services online. Now, anyone who wants to help them with cleanup or donations may go to ksdk.com and click on this story. It's under our As Seen on TV section.
Developing news at the City Justice Center. St. Louis police say it's too crowded to take in new inmates. 5 on Your Side obtained a document sent department-wide today telling officers to stop bringing new inmates there until further notice. Instead, they'll be housed at the North Patrol substation. The downtown jail has the capacity to hold 860 inmates. As of today, 537 inmates were being housed there. We reached out to the Public Safety Department about the new policy. We are still at this hour waiting to hear back.
Tonight, St. Louis police have identified the child who accidentally shot and killed himself on Wednesday. Police say Corey Patterson was 1, not 2 years old, as previously reported. Investigators say Patterson shot himself in the head at a home in the Baden neighborhood. He later died at the hospital. The Child Abuse Unit is handling this investigation. 5 children have been killed in accidental shootings in St. Louis.
A child custody case between former Missouri Governor Eric Greitens and his ex-wife has been moved to Texas. Sheena Greitens' lawyer tells the Kansas City Star the Boone County judge decided the case should continue in Texas, where she is a public affairs professor at the University of Texas. The case drew heightened attention amid Eric Greitens' failed bid to become the Republican nominee for Senate. Sheena Greitens said in a sworn affidavit that her ex-husband was physically abusive, which he strongly denies.
A new disaster recovery center opened today in O'Fallon, Missouri. It's set up inside of the O'Fallon Municipal Center. Government officials are there to help assist with recovery efforts and provide one-on-one assistance for flood victims. This is the 6th center in the St. Louis area. It will be open every day from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. That includes Labor Day. For information on how to get flood help and other resources, text the word HELP to 314-425-5355.
Millions of dollars are about to flow into St. Louis for farming.
We're not talking about home gardening, but urban agriculture. 5 on Your Side's Tracy Hinson spoke with a St. Louis County-based farmer about what could be coming to our area.
The exact numbers aren't out yet, but the U.S. Department of Agriculture has singled out St. Louis as one of the 17 cities to pilot a national urban agriculture program.
This is an urban farm, and I have an urban farm that's next door. So what the USDA has recognized now is that, hey, this is a vital aspect of growth in providing food to the community.
The goal is to limit shipping produce across the country, lowering its carbon footprint and overhead cost.
My place, I have 4 acres that I'm growing. We have tomatoes and watermelons on, and they're organic. And yet, as I leave our interview, I'm on my way to visit my restaurants less than 5 miles away. So we're urban. You know, there's not a long trip that takes place for the product to happen.
It's a start, and with development from the USDA, Tony says things can really grow.
We can grow on top of a roof, or we can grow in a lot, but we need to make sure that that soil is very, is fertile and is providing the nutrients that we need.
St. Louis is on an exclusive list of major U.S. cities designated to launch the National Urban Agriculture Initiative, joining the ranks of New York, L.A., Chicago, and Atlanta.
It's exciting to be in farming today because things are really starting to look up positive.
Tony says the future isn't all row crop, it's rooftop and community gardens. In Maryland Heights, Tracy Hinson, 5 on Your Side.
The goal of urban farming is not to take away from rural agriculture, but supplement it.
Chess grandmasters from around the world are in St. Louis. Earlier tonight, an opening ceremony for the Sinkfield Cup was held at the World's Fair Pavilion in Forest Park. Today marks 50 years since Bobby Fischer defeated the Soviet grandmaster. To celebrate his victory, 10 grandmasters played multiple games simultaneously against young students from St. Louis.
We have a lot of chess going on. We just wrapped up the St. Louis Rapid and Blitz. Going into the Sinkfield Cup as a classical tournament. The players will be competing over the next 3 weeks, and there's a combined prize fund of almost $500,000 at stake.
The tournament kicks off tomorrow at the St. Louis Chess Club. That's across from the World Chess Hall of Fame.
If you are experiencing stress and anxiety, there is help available for you right now. Project 5 is partnering with Behavioral Health Response tonight. Call that number on your screen, 314-469-6644. A mental health professional will be available to talk with you now through 10:30 tonight.
New fallout tonight from the dramatic rise of stolen Hyundais and Kias. How the growing problem could hit your pocketbook. And we share advice if you're thinking of selling. Democracy under attack. In a rare primetime speech, President Biden opens up on the threats facing our nation.
There is no place for political violence in America, period. None, ever.
What the president says about his predecessor's grip on the Republican Party.
Slightly higher temperatures and humidity for the holiday weekend. I'll let you know when a stray shower or storm is possible.
I'm asking our nation to come together, unite behind the single purpose of defending our democracy regardless of your ideology.
Tonight, President Joe Biden delivering a powerful speech warning that equality and democracy are under assault in the United States. About 3 hours ago, President Biden spoke in a rare primetime address at Independence Hall in Philadelphia.
The president spoke at length about his predecessor, Donald Trump, and Republicans who support the former president. While the president did not say all Republicans fall into the MAGA category, he did say the entire party has been partly dominated and intimidated by Trump. The president argued Trump and his allies threatened the very foundations of America.
MAGA forces are determined to take this country backwards to an America where there is no right to choose, no right to privacy, no right to contraception, no right to marry who you love. They promote authoritarian leaders and they fan the flames of political violence.
In a pre-rebuttal speech, House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy accused the president of trying to disparage hardworking Americans. Donald Trump is expected to hold a rally this weekend in Biden's hometown of Scranton.
A retired New York police officer has been sentenced to a record 10 years in federal prison for his part in the January 6th riot. Thomas Webster was convicted of several felonies for attacking a police officer with a flagpole, then tackling the officer to the ground and attempting to rip off his gas mask. The 20-year NYPD veteran was the first Capitol riot defendant to be tried on an assault charge.
No immediate ruling was made after the Justice Department and Donald Trump's lawyers provided arguments over the case of an appointed special master. Earlier today, the two sides faced off for the first time since FBI agents searched Mar-a-Lago. Trump lawyers said the judge should appoint a special master to review all of the evidence seized to see if any of it contains potential attorney-client or executive privilege issues. The DOJ argued that appointing a special master would slow down an urgent investigation. The judge says she would issue a written ruling at a later date.
The rate of Hyundais and Kias getting stolen in the St. Louis area is getting worse. Nationwide, it's no different. This could be bad news for you, the consumers, even if your car is safe tonight. The I-Team's Christine Byers tells us how the growing theft problem could hit insurance rates and even car values.
Even if you don't own a Hyundai or a Kia, chances are the explosion of thefts affecting those vehicles could hit your pocketbook too.
Just a few hours ago, the St. Louis Police Department told me the number of Hyundais and Kias stolen so far this year is approaching 2,000. That's more than 1,000% increase over last year. Cities across the country are reporting similar surges as thieves share ways to steal the cars using USB cords on social media. Many of the cars aren't equipped with engine immobilizing technology, so they're easy to steal. Now, the ripple effects of the surging thefts are hitting the insurance industry. Roy Bent Jr. is a certified vehicle appraiser and auto insurance expert. He's based in Houston.
Are there any insurance companies that you know of that are just flat out refusing to insure them altogether?
They have every right to do so. Okay, they have to protect themselves as well as their policyholders. Okay, you don't want an insurance company to start increasing your premiums because of a set of vehicles that are continuously being stolen, and everybody is under the blanket and their premiums go up. You do not want that, and neither do they. So they have every right to reject those type of vehicles. It's their prerogative.
Ben's advice for people who are thinking of getting rid of their Hyundais or Kias altogether: don't do it. He says the trade-in values of these cars is also way down. So the best thing to do is equip your vehicle with as many anti-theft devices as possible. He recommends steering wheel locks like the Club. For more tips, go to ksdk.com. Back to you.
If you have a tip for the 5 on Your Side I-Team, call us at 314-444-5231 or email 5onyourside@ksdk.com. All calls and correspondence will be kept confidential.
All right, we've got Labor Day weekend ahead, and Jim Castillo is here to look at our forecast, and I think we're going to have a lot of dry time. Is that right, Jim?
A lot of drive time. Yeah, dry time, not drive time. Sorry. I was going to say, this is going to be a perfect weathercast. Nope, just ruined it.
Oh, come on. It's 10:15 at night. It's all right.
It is.
You're not used to this.
You're right. Should be sleeping by now.
Right.
So we just finished a meteorological summer, and now we've started meteorological fall. So let's check that first, and we'll get into our forecast coming up for this big holiday weekend. 105 was our hottest this summer, 55 for the lowest or coldest. And remember that 9.07 inches of rain on the 25th and 26th of July, the wettest we've ever seen in 24 hours in St. Louis. Now, September, October, November, meteorological fall here. So autumn actually starts up on the 22nd. But we've definitely started our regular meteorological fall here. So 86 for that high at the beginning of September, 76 at the end of September, and that sunset 6:46 p.m. by the end of September. And look at this, you're going to love this. Fall is expected to be warmer than average for September, October, and November. And then look at the dryness too. So we've been so wet too. It was the 14th wettest summer on record. So drier than average is what we're expecting. That doesn't mean we're not going to see rain at times and cool moments, but in general, drier and warmer than average. So we'll see if that pans out. 77 degrees right now, humidity 60%, dew point at 62. And of course, it is a mostly cloudy night. Did you notice those clouds that started streaming in here? So it's getting a little bit warmer, a little bit more humid, and temperatures in the 60s tonight, even 69 in St. Louis, but low 60s outside of the city. High today was 86, 66 for that low, and look at that, right on track for the averages for this time of year. And on the satellite shot, you can see all the clouds starting to stream in. Look at Springfield and then back here in Branson, this area, and we'll widen out the shot a little bit. There's a warm front coming through here, so a little moisture is coming in. That'll scare you for this weekend coming up. But if you look at the futurecast, most of that stays in the Ozarks or in our southern counties and misses the metro. So we'll just probably see some isolated to widely scattered showers and storms, mostly dry, as I was trying to talk about earlier. And of course, what we're watching in the tropics is a tropical storm Danielle in the northern Atlantic, way out in the Atlantic, not bothering anybody at all. So mid to upper 80s throughout this weekend, only spotty rain chances in the forecast, but they last all the way through next week.
All right, Jim, thanks very much. And Frank is here with sports.
Mike, the Mizzou Tigers opened up their season, and not a bad night for our St. Louis Cougs. Hey, how much could a home run ball be worth if it's number 700? We have the answers. And loyalty doesn't matter in sports. I'll explain about it, in Frankly Speaking, coming up in just a moment.
And this year's Show of Strength MDA Telethon is this Sunday at Grants Farm. Watch live from 8 to 10 p.m. right here on 5 on Your Side. You can also watch on KSTK.com or download the 5 Plus app on your Roku or Fire TV. All money raised during the telethon goes to people with neuromuscular diseases in the St. Louis area.
Eli Drinkwitz is the highest paid employee in the state of Missouri. Makes about $4 million. The governor makes about $150,000. Point is, if you're making that kind of jack, you have to beat Louisiana Tech in the opener. Really, a fired up crowd on holiday weekend for the Tigers. Like this idea. Get the ball to Looper. Luther Burden, he's in the Wildcat, and he looks really good on that first down. Cody Schrader was playing football at Truman State last year at this time. Now he's scoring Missouri's first touchdown. Like the opportunistic Mizzou defense, this is Joseph Charleston with the pick six, and Mizzou led it 14-3 after that score. Later, take a look at this spectacular Centene Soccer Stadium, about $500,000. Well, they will play the first game there on September 18th. St. Louis City SC2 will play Sporting KC2. And for a local player from Carbondale, it will be a big thrill.
Just being a local kid and kind of seeing this area kind of being nothing in the past, just kind of a highway ramp. Yeah. And now seeing a whole campus, stadium, practice facility, it's amazing. Just big thank you to the ownership group and the vision that they had, and it's going to go a long way to help St. Louis continue to produce some of the best soccer players that this country will see.
Loyalty is a wonderful thing with a spouse, a dog, and a boss. It doesn't mean as much in professional sports. I say this because this man, Jack Flaherty, has done nothing for the Cardinals this season. 8 innings total. Doesn't matter now. You see, if Flaherty pitches in the month of September, like he did last night in Springfield, he could be your Game 1 starter in the postseason. Miles Michaelis has been terrific for the Cardinals. So has Adam Wainwright. They're over 160 innings apiece. However, if Flaherty can rekindle the magic, he can get to a level that no Cardinal starting pitcher can. Granted, a big if, but he's well rested, and talent doesn't go away when you're 26. Jack Flaherty, at his best, could make the Cardinals awfully dangerous in October.
Chasing 700 is sponsored by CarShield.
So, Albert did not homer last night. He did not play tonight, so he remains at 694. Today, we thought we would try to get a value on home run ball number 700 if it happens. Michael Barnes is an attorney and a business agent with Rutherford and Barnes. He sold the McGuire 70 ball, and he thinks if there is a Pujols 700 ball, it should be worth between $500 grand and $1 million. Why, you ask?
One is Pujols is going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer, maybe top 5 all time. So I think, again, the legitimacy of who he is isn't tainted by, well, the second half of his career, it's assumed that he was using PEDs or so forth. So that, I think, really helps. A buyer doesn't have to worry about it being revealed 2 or 3 years from now that he was involved in that. The other is, if you look at the numbers out there, legitimately, can you say someone's going to have a shot at 700 anytime soon?
Venus and Serena have won 14 majors together in doubles. Tonight at the U.S. Open, this was their swan song. Arthur Ashe Stadium, and that'll do it in sports.
End of an era. All right, thanks, Frank. Well, big changes are coming to Memorial Stadium, why Mizzou fans will no longer have to stand in line for concessions.
If you plan to attend a Mizzou football game this year, you won't have to stand in line anymore for concessions. Mizzou Athletics installed brand new food locker systems, allowing fans to order food and drink by kiosk or the Mizzou Tigers app. The lockers only accept cards, so those who carry cash will have to use the regular concession stands.
Well, Twitter users are rejoicing today. This morning, the social media platform announced that it is testing edited tweets. Twitter Blue subscribers will get it first. And then we're told it'll be rolled out for every user. Users will have 30 minutes to make any changes, but readers will also be able to view the previous versions of the tweet.
What's the point? Just in time for her 65th birthday, Gloria Estefan now has her own Barbie. The Grammy-winning singer and actress introduced the doll on Instagram, calling it her mini-me. Mattel says the Barbie celebrates the 33rd anniversary of Estefan's 1989 hit, Get On Your Feet, paying tribute to the look she sported in the song's music video.
Did you have a lot of Barbies when you were growing up?
Yes, I loved Barbies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And did you get the doll house and the car and all
My
that?
dad still talks about putting it together. Still.
Still.
How horrible it was.
Yeah. And it's been a few years. just a couple. There you have it. 5 on your side at 10. The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon is next.
Guest tonight, NFL Hall of Famer Michael Strahan and Stranger Things actor Jamie Campbell Bower. Have a great Friday and holiday weekend.